What's up, everybody? What's going on? It's Monday night, and we're back. We're here live. It's the Bay Ragni Show, and I'm back with my good friend, Mr. Marty McCoy of the Lonely Ones. And before we talk to Marty, I tell everybody tonight's show and all of our shows is brought to you by Bombers and Sleeves, and they are the lifestyle apparel brand dedicated to bringing you the war on self-doubt. This is for the bold, the fearless, and authentic souls who never back down, and they wear it all on their sleeve. Bomb your boundaries today. Shop bombersandsleeves.com. So here he is, the man, the myth, the legend, and the country is going to be seeing him very soon, and he's going to prove it to everybody, Mr. Marty McCoy. What's going on, brother?
Oh, you just got home from rehearsal.
So, first off, before I talk about all that stuff, I got bones to pick with you now.
All right.
You were in Nashville a week and a half ago.
Well, that's for Winter Nam.
Yeah. Hello. Remember me? Nope.
Yeah,
Obviously not.
Are you in Nashville?
Yeah, man.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm in Nashville now. I've been here almost 2 years.
I love it there. Do you like it there?
I'll tell you what, I'm born and raised Philadelphia area, and I never, ever in my life expected to leave Philly. I truly loved it. And now it's like, this is my home. I love it here.
We went down a couple days early to go see Seven Dust. They were playing, I forget what the name of the venue was. It was a really nice venue, though, and it was packed. Because Morgan Rose is the guy that signed us to Imagine Records.
Oh, cool.
And so we went down to go see those guys. And Seven Dust is always a clinic in how to play live. Yeah, they're an incredible live band. So we went down a couple days early, checked that out. And then we got to go to Winter Nam and meet a bunch of people. I've never been to Nam before. It was really cool. And then Nam was 2 days, and we hung out for a little bit longer and had a little bus trouble. We took our bus down there just to work out the kinks and take it on a big road trip. And glad we did, because there's a couple kinks. But no harm, no foul. It wasn't, the first day of tour. But we had a great time. I love Nashville. Music everywhere. And it's the new LA.
It really is.
With quirky accents. I dig it. I think Lizzie, when we were down there, Hailstorm did their first show back. It was just like the place was just humming. It was back open. It was wide open, and everybody was ready to rock and roll. And it was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing. Like, it's been pretty wide open down here for months. And back in March, I went to Kid Rock's for the first time. A friend of my girlfriend's husband is the band leader for his band, house band. And we went there. And at that point in March, it was, you would have thought there was nothing ever happened, any COVID or pandemic. There was just thousands of people up and down Broadway. It was just insane.
Right.
So
I get
it. So I guess, with that little run down here to Nashville for that little excursion of music, is the vibe out there now, like pretty much like let's do this, like open everything up and just let's get back to normal?
Yeah, I think so. I think the people that wanted to get vaccinated got vaccinated. The people that didn't, or it's a free country, do whatever you want. But I think that the businesses are done taking the hits, and they're like, your fate is in your hands. And the doors are open. Come on, let's rock.
Yeah, exactly. Now, is there any with the upcoming tour coming up, any as this is being booked, do you guys hear any restrictions from any clubs around the country at all? Or
no, I have not. It's, as far as I know, it's wide open.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't think there's any show your papers at the door. I don't think it's like that. I think you still got to show an ID to show that you're 21. But other than that, I think it's wide open. The whole band's been vaccinated, so we felt like that was something that we had to do to be able to move forward,
right,
and get back on the road as fast as possible. And I understand some people feel one way about it. I felt the other, and I was like, "Yep, give me the shot. Let's go get them both. Let's go. Let's get back on the road. Let's put this protective armor over us. Hopefully, I don't get grow a third eye."
That's what my cousin she said to me. She goes, I went and I got the vaccine. She goes, I'm gonna have a third nipple in probably a month or two, but hey, maybe I can make some money off it.
yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, so I'm ready to get back out on the road. I'm ready for the world to open back up, and we're finally here. It seems like it's exciting. I'm a little nervous because I haven't played a show in 2 years. But hopefully it's like riding a bike with 6 strings and 3 other dudes that are riding at the exact same time you are. Hopefully that's all.
Now, how about that? Like, because this is the first real tour for the Lonely Ones coming up, right?
Yeah, it'll be some of the first show. I mean, it'll be the first shows we ever played.
Right. So, how like, I mean, you guys have been putting out music now for over a year.
Yep.
So you got to be like really, like you said, like nervous, but on the other hand, like totally chomping at the bit to get out there and play these tunes.
Absolutely, I can't wait to get out there. Like I said, I'm a little nervous, just because we're a new band.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as much as the fan base we had from our old band and everything, we are a new band.
Right.
So not sure what's going to happen, but I'm just ready to go play music and act like a new band. You know, go pay our dues and go put our head down and you know, gain the fans like a brand new spanking band.
Does that make you going back to being nervous? Does that make you nervous? Is that part of the nervous of this whole situation? Is just because you technically are a new band?
Yeah, and this is like I'm handling the lead singer duties, all of them.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's a lot of pressure, but it's I like pressure. I've been out of the loops for, like I said, 2 years, so I know
right
things getting used to. There's going to be things I forgot. There's going to be oh, you can't eat McDonald's every day, you'll die. Things like that. It's like I'm not drinking anymore. I'm a little bit worried about that. You know what I mean? Being in bars every night and stuff like that. I'm a little concerned about that. Not to get too personal, but it's like, hopefully win that. I mean, I'm going to win that battle. I'm going to win it.
Good. Good.
There's just some things where it's like, yeah, it's going to be different now. And which is exciting, and it needs to be different. But we'll see. It's going to be interesting.
Here's what I want to know, and here's what I want to talk to you about. Going on a tour, even though you're a new band, you've done many tours, but what really goes on at this time now, the last couple of weeks leading up to it, the preparation? I mean, take the music part of it aside. People just think, oh yeah, we load in with van, throw the amps, guitars, and drums in, and away we go. And I don't think people truly realize how much more goes into it, especially a somewhat independent band like yourselves.
Oh yeah, you got to make sure you have all your strings. You got to make sure you have all your drumsticks. Tommy's a monster. He breaks drumsticks at every song. So he's got to have, cases and cases of sticks, all your drum heads. Make sure all your equipment's working right. Make sure your vehicle's working right. You got to do pre-production. Make sure the light show's hitting right. Make sure every song flows into each other correctly. Make sure all your fluids are topped off. Looking at your drives, what kind of drive? When are we gonna have to leave at this time? It's we have a great booking agent, Alex Gilbert, over at TKO, and he's limited the drives, but there's a couple big ones. You just can't get away with that.
Right.
Just there's so much preparation into logistics and everything. What kind of club is this? So you have to reach out to each club and say, we'd like to be there at 2:00. They're like, that's not happening. That kind of thing. You gotta find all the Planet Fitnesses, shower and work out every day. You just got to plan everything. Some Planet Fitnesses are right next to the club. Some of them are 25 miles away. Some towns don't have them. You definitely want to shower every day. That's very important on the road. Pieces will start to fall off of you if you don't get a shower every day. So yeah, there's a lot of prep, but we're veterans at it. We'll swing right back into it pretty quick. Oh yeah, the other thing, there's toll roads. Did you bring cash? On the way through Chicago, you're going through Chicago 3 times on this tour. Better make sure you got the cash, or they're going to mail you your bill, and it's going to be higher. There's just a lot of stuff that you got to find out what the truck, because we did buy a new bus that we're driving ourselves, and you got to find out the trucker routes, find out if you can get your bus into this gas station. Make sure there's no national forests and you have a quarter of a tank.
Right.
We'll get back in the swing.
But it's all that though. It does truly sound like so much fun. Like that's a true adventure.
It is. It's like I said, we're pretty slick. We've done this a bunch. We know how to get around everything. I can't wait to get back out on that stage and start playing music, and I think people are going to dig it. We're tight as razors, and we've been rehearsing and writing and just really, working through the time that we had off at home,
Right.
unfortunately, we try to utilize it to the best of our ability to just to get better and better and better. And we got a pretty high standard for what we think sounds good, and it's there.
Nice.
So
Nice.
now there's 3 weeks until the tour starts. Now we're trying to push it past that standard and get better than we ever have.
Now, how about like personally? Like, is there like a mental preparation at all, or?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Like I said, I'm sober, and it's easy. That's easier to do at home.
Sure.
Like I said, I don't want to air out my personal business and stuff. I'm a little nervous about that because
Understandable.
I don't know if you've heard anything about us in the past, but we like to drink a lot. I'm sure you've heard. And it's like, and I could, float an ocean liner on the amount of alcohol I've drank in my life. And I just want to do something different. And a little nervous about that, a little bit.
Interesting. How about
That's
physically?
That's a message to people coming out to the shows. Don't buy me shots. Don't waste your money.
Yeah, there you go. But how about I've seen too. You've been putting up a lot of videos of you running around, eating healthy, no meat, vegetables.
Oh, that's people are like, why are you doing that? I was like, we're getting ready to go on tour. You think this is a game? This ain't a game. We're playing. This is playing for keeps. It's like we're going out there and putting our blood, sweat, and tears on stage every night, and it's like we got to put ourselves in the best position to be able to do that for that the hour and 15-minute show. We want people to leave and say, oh my God, those guys were great. Not, oh my God, those guys look really tired.
Right.
And because you drive, we're driving 6-8 hours a night, and we'll be on the road, playing 6-7 nights a week and loading gear and doing all that fun shit. As a new band, used to be I could lay on the bus and have a great time, and other people would load that shit. We're gonna get back to that pretty soon, but we come out of it on this as a minimalist kind of setup, and you know what I mean, and just kind of get back to our roots and really dig in and do everything. My hands will touch every bit of that gear, and
nice.
And you got to be in shape mentally and physically for that kind of grueling schedule. But I'm ready for it. And I can't wait.
Awesome.
I can't wait to be used to it. I can't wait until everything is second nature. That's the thing. When you first start a tour, it's like, you can rehearse all you want. When you hit that stage, it is a different story.
Mm-hmm.
Just people in the crowd throw you off. The little things throw you off. So I can't wait till it's all second nature, and I don't have to think, I'm having a good time instead of like, oh shit, I missed the A chord, or I was supposed to stop here. I chicked when I should have chucked. So I'm just excited to get into that machine type rhythm and keep it going.
That's awesome. Now, how about one of the bands you have coming on tour with you, Sunflower Dead, friends of mine.
Right.
Actually, I'm interviewing Mike tomorrow night. And speaking of getting physically ready, he's another one. Like I've been saying, he's dropped like 30 pounds getting ready to go on tour. So yeah, I mean it's a true thing you guys got to do. People don't realize it.
I'm excited to see those guys. I've never met them in person, but everybody that's toured with them said these guys are wonderful.
Yeah.
And amazing live.
Yeah, absolutely.
To go on tour with somebody like that.
Yeah, you guys will have some fun.
We get co-op on a couple on some of the shows too, and I've heard the same things about those guys. They're amazing, wonderful people and rock live. So that's another thing. When you take really good bands on tour with you, you have to bring your A game, or they'll mop the floor with you every night and not have that on my watch.
It's a tour of 3 killer bands, and all 3 have that hunger.
Yep.
So it's going to push each of you, which is going to be super cool.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Like I said, it's just going to be fun to have that purpose again. Like we were releasing music and doing videos and stuff, but just the circle did not feel complete without those live performances. And that's where people are. If someone's on the fence, that's where you get them off the fence and onto your side. Is by a great live performance.
Absolutely.
So that's a huge part of the puzzle.
Now, speaking of live performance, the one thing I was wondering, a song you guys put out last year, if you're going to do this live, are you going to do the Immortal Queen cover of Flash live? Yeah,
Oh yeah.
dude,
I want to talk
come on,
about preparation.
right?
It's almost through my guitar. What are we doing? But we got it. Yeah, a couple. It was. I mean, we've been working on the set for months. Like rehearsing, 6 days a week, every day.
Wow. Wow.
And that one was we got it now though. Now like we smile at each other like, oh shit, we're doing this. This sounds good. But it was a tough one. All the songs are a lot. I don't know if it's just because they're new, but it's like some of them are higher range than I'm usually used to going to, and Jake Early, the guitars are definitely harder. Tommy is a monster drummer, and he just gets better every time we rehearse. So his drum lines are even harder and a lot more complicated, and the music is just harder. And it's been tough, like getting it to that level that we wanted it.
Yeah,
it's been tough, but we're there. Now it's time to maintain it.
Well, speaking of heavier and harder, you guys put out a new single and video last week, "Gettin High," and like it's the first thing I thought to myself when I listened to them and saw the video. I'm just like, holy crap, this is a monstrous wall of like hard rock metal, and I was like taken back. I was like, whoa, the guys are turning up a notch, and then all of a sudden it goes to like this really killer melodic music. I'm like, you're giving both ends of the spectrum here musically. It's beautiful.
That's the plan, take you on a little ride. That song just we during COVID we found we wanted to go we go to Sonic Lounge Studios all the time. It's where we record all our music. My best friend Joe Veers, he's an amazing producer, he's an amazing engineer. We took him. He wanted to get out of our comfort zone. That was Joe's idea. Let's get out of our comfort zone. Let's go find a place like a cabin up in the woods and be like up on Cripple Creek like the band and grow beards and go mad scientists and no one can use their phones and that kind of stuff. I was like, yeah, it's a great idea. Jimmy, yeah, it's a great idea. Everybody in the band was like, yeah, let's do that. So we were lucky enough to find a place. Joe went to college there. It's a music recording college. It's called the Recording Workshop in Chillicothe, Ohio. It is a college for recording. There's 5 studios, there's places to sleep, there's a kitchen, all this. I mean, it's a complex.
Wow.
And because of COVID, they couldn't, the students couldn't come in, and it was shut down just like everywhere else. But the guys that own the place are such music fans and such, love this. They're so passionate about this college that they're like, please, we need music in the halls again. You guys quarantine, come in, stay here, don't leave. It should be safe enough. And take it, let us have it for 15 days. So we recorded a lot of music there, and Gettin High was one of those songs. I got written at like 2 o'clock in the morning. Jake come back and was like, I got this riff, can I record it now? That's what we're here for. We had 2 engineers, we had Joe Veers and Jacob Mooney. So that 24 hours, there's somebody in there to catch something. So, if you woke up at 3 in the morning, like, I have a song, somebody was in it, let's do it, let's get it. So it was a magical moment, and Gettin High came out of that. One of many songs that came out of that, and it was one of the coolest experiences as far as recording goes. Just live, breathe music all day long.
That's awesome.
You could go take a nap. I'm tired. Go take a nap. Somebody else would take off, and you'd wake up, and there'd be a song that you didn't have anything to do with, but it was really cool. And you're like, I have these ideas, or vice versa, that kind of thing. It was. I want to do that at least once a year, if schedule and budget and timing all allows it. I'd love to do that.
It's funny because like how many times have you or anybody in some type of creative arts of music or some type of writing, you're laying in bed, you're falling asleep, and you get these ideas in your head, and you're like, yeah, and you're like, I'll get to it in the morning, and you wake up the next morning like, what the hell, what was that idea? Like, where'd it go?
I take my phone, I got millions of recordings of me half asleep. My phone, sing the chorus idea, and sometimes I'm like, that's great. And the next time, sometimes I'm like, what in the hell is that? Yeah, all the time, like that lucid dreaming kind of thing. For some reason, right when I'm getting ready to fall asleep, my brain lets go, all the wild shit goes away, and I'm like razor focused, and melodies fly into my head, And I've written songs where I just woke up like this song was in my dream, and wrote it down and sang it like, oh, this is exactly how it went. And sometimes it's the best songs. Sometimes it's absolute gibberish. You know, to be able to be in that situation where you can do stuff like that, and you know, just nothing holding you back. You know, you can't check your phone because the signal's out. You can't watch Netflix because it's not there. It's like it's music, music or sleep.
Right.
And it was awesome. We got a lot of stuff done, and really, like, our sound started to really hone into what, you know, got a lot heavier too.
That's cool.
Some of it. Some of it. The subject matter got heavier too.
So now musically, what's going to be the plan once you guys are out on the road? Do you have more stuff recorded to release any more singles while you're touring, or is that going to be on hold?
Our plan is to, as far as putting out a record, like, I mean, I talked to a lot of people through Messenger and things like that, and everyone's asking, when's the record coming out? When's the record coming out? We have enough music to do a record, but people don't get records anymore. There are people that do. But, you know, there are people that I still get records and stuff. No, I'm full of shit. I do singles. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm a musician, and it sounds terrible to say that, and people don't buy records anymore. Neither do I. I download my singles, and I have my subscriptions to Spotify and Apple Music and stuff like that. And that's just the way it's done now. When you put out a record as a band like us, where do you go from there?
Yeah.
The record's out. Well, what cool stuff do you put on your social medias and stuff? What kind of hype do you get? Hey, listen to our record that came out last month. And people, whether they realize it or not subconsciously, if it's not new, they're like, oh, that came out a month ago. I'm not going to listen to it. You know, it just works. It's a different world. And I'm fine. I'm okay with that. And that's, we're kind of navigating to the ever-changing music industry. And right now it's singles. Maybe it comes back to albums. You know, you never know. But right now it seems like, you know, there's so much traffic and so much noise out there that you give them one single, they put it in their playlist, they fall in love with it, hopefully, and then you give them another a couple weeks later, and you know, because we've done that. I've seen the numbers where you put out this great record and no one listened to song number 10. Right. Heard the first 3 and those are my favorite songs. You play it live. I've never heard that song. It's on the record that you bought. You know what I mean? It's just the way it works. I mean, it's deficit disorder, and you know, on YouTube, there's 2-minute videos of someone stapling their nuts to the ground, and that shit's funny. I think it's hilarious, and you know, it eats up a lot of your time. So I think singles is the way to go.
I agree.
I feel bad for people that want albums, and at some point in time, all the singles that we put out will go on an album. But right now, it just seems to be the truth, the way, the light for this moment in time.
How about though, from especially now when you guys are getting ready to go on tour, from a business standpoint, having the CD or album to sell, because that's what it's mainly come down to. Because like you said, everybody's just doing singles, but it seems like more or less people just have that physical piece of music as a part of the line of merchandise.
Yeah, we thought about doing that. It just, I mean, unless you sign them, I mean, people just grab them and don't listen to them. Right. You know what I mean, they'd be signing like, oh, this is going on my shelf. I already have. I remember in the old band, we would put out a record and you know, the CD release party and shit like that. People would buy a lot of CDs and stuff, and they already had it. And then a week after that, after the album came out, we would go to shows and have this massive bunch of CDs and people would say, oh, I already have it on my phone. I've got it all. I got it the second that it came out.
Yeah.
And there's people that still, want the vinyl thing is cool. Vinyl's so backed up. It takes 8 months to get your vinyl pressed because.
Really?
Because people are into vinyl and every band. I mean, if you're in Clutch or Tool, it has taken you 8 months to get your vinyl because it is so backed up. The demand is so high for vinyl. So that's something cool. And vinyl sounds great, and it's just, everybody's into. Maybe CDs come back. Maybe people are like, hey, have you ever heard of this old thing? It's called a CD.
Tape cassettes are coming back.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know how hard they're coming back, but they're back.
Yeah. But they're back in small runs.
Like the album is, it used to be singles. Albums came, when people got their home stereo systems and stuff, and and it was something portable that people could use. The music industry changes so much. It's right now. It's people are holding their music players in their hands and putting in earbuds or watching it on YouTube and stuff. It's different. And
Yeah.
I'd hate to put out an album and nobody hear anything but the singles on it.
Yeah, I hear you. Now, okay. Speaking as we're talking like the business standpoint, something you guys also have done recently from a business standpoint is a Patreon.
Yeah, started a Patreon last week. Building that up. That's what I say to people. I was like, if you want to support the band, it's less than a cup of coffee a month, and helps us out immensely. And we're doing cool stuff on there. Just did an interview, like a little behind the scenes music thing about the story of Gettin High. I can't tell you the story of Gettin High. If you want to see it, go to our Patreon. But it's a great story, and we're going to start doing like acoustic versions and giving the people on Patreon some special stuff. And it's just like I said, the music industry is changing.
Yeah,
it's not record companies giving guys $3 million to sign. There's not. People aren't buying. We didn't sell 900 million records because people are downloading singles. Touring is you got to get out there and tour. You got to find other avenues. But with Patreon stuff, we can do special things. Like I said, my phone looks pretty good, and I got a microphone that plugs into it, and we got some cameras, and you can record in your basement and do all that wild stuff. And if the Patreon thing builds up, we'll be able to do a lot more of that.
Absolutely. We got some here. I just saw it. So people are commenting, and I just realized I can actually put the comments on the screen. So let's try that out.
Let's see what they say.
All right, here you go. Mark says, "Love the Lonely Ones. Love Marty McCoy. Congrats on the new single, brother."
Thanks, Mark. You're the man.
And we got Charlie Fry here.
Charlie Fry. Where's Charlie Fry from?
I don't know. He does not say, but he just says, "You guys rock."
Thanks, Charlie.
Let's see. Here's another one. Lance Coleman said, "Well, Marty McCoy, you guys are doing it right by just releasing singles."
Thanks, Lance. I thought so. I caught some flack for it.
Did you really?
Yeah. So people are like, why? And I understand that. Well, how come you're not releasing a record? I want the whole record. I want the whole record. And one guy I was just goofing off with on Facebook. I said, "You're the only person that wants the record," and he got pissed. He's like, blah, blah, blah. I was like, and I private message. I'm like, look, man, I explained the whole story. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like they're financially, it's like records cost 10, 20, 30 grand to make. Singles do not. Singles cost $2 grand to make, and then you get full time to build the kit. You know what I mean? That's a low budget record. It's 30 grand.
Right.
I know people spent 180 grand on a record.
Wow.
And,
wow.
Yeah, so it's just like you got people that can make them in their basements. God love them; they're doing a really good job at it. I'm an old school guy that likes to go into the studio and go through the analog board and big huge drum room and amps, mics, and that kind of stuff. And to me, the computer stuff sounds good. I like it the other way. It's a personal preference.
Sure.
It's just expensive.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Now, how about also too? While you guys are on tour, I saw you guys are doing meet and greets.
Yes.
Did you guys like really sit down and like, are we going to do this or not, or is just like no hesitation? We're doing meet and greets.
No hesitation. It's really fun.
Awesome.
Meet and greets are great. We get to play. We'll play some acoustic songs. We'll hang out and take pictures and talk to everybody. And it's you really get to hone your because you go into radio stations at 8 o'clock in the morning and play your singles acoustic and do all that kind of fun stuff. So it's just more you hone your acoustic skills. You hone your music skills. You get to talk to people that show up at 5 o'clock that want to meet the band and it's always fun. Like we always tell stories and the fans that show up tell us these cool stories and it's a very cool. Like warm kind of thing and I enjoy it. I really enjoy it. It's just neat, you know what I mean? It's like
sure.
After the show, it's like sometimes you just don't feel like coming out and you're really tired and you got to drive. But before the show, the people that really, really want to meet you show up and do the meet and greet stuff and and it's just like I said, it's a very warm and fun kind of thing, and gives you a chance to play your songs acoustic, and we take pictures, and just it's just cool. It's like
Nice.
it's a hangout thing. You know they're going to be at the show. It's just I enjoy it. So there's no hesitation. I was like, yeah,
That's cool.
Bam, everybody in the band's like, absolutely, we love doing it.
Nice. Now, something else I did see though, Jimmy, your bass player, he's going to be in Nashville next weekend as part of the Rockin' Pod convention.
He is. He's really excited about that.
That's awesome. That's how I ended up coming here. I came here 2 years ago for it, and here I am. He's moved here later.
He's always like, did you see this podcast? Check out this podcast. Check out this guy. Check out this guy. He's super hip on the podcasts. So he was really excited to be able to be a part of that, be a part of the panel and stuff. So it's exciting. He'll be down there.
Nice. I look forward to meeting him.
We met. Do you know the True Crime Garage?
No.
Like one of the biggest podcasts out there. It was, it's the guys from Columbus. It's a massive podcast. We recently became friends with him. He was the guy that was like, hey, this Patreon thing is the way of the future. He was telling us about Hanson. He's like, Hanson's Patreon crushes, and they do a secret EP every year for their Patreon fans and all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
So, well, that's the whole thing. Like, I know when I first found out about Patreon about 3 years ago, like, it's the, what gifts and surprises are you going to keep coming up with? Is that like the stressful part of it?
No, I don't think so. We think we're new to it, so we're going to get better at it. Stuff's really fun to do.
Right.
Yeah, it's really fun to do, and it's like we're going to start doing acoustic performances and things like that. Behind and tell stories about, hey, this is how this song was written, this is what it's about, here's a funny story that happened in the studio, stuff that you would tell your friends, hey, you won't believe this, and check this out, and just I think it's going to be cool. I'm having a really good time doing it already.
Nice.
And it's like you do get fun stuff, but it's people are supporting the band. It's like the people that really want to help.
Yeah,
it's really cool. Like someone signs up for Patreon. That means a lot to us because it really helps us a lot, and it shows that they love this band and they're willing to put something in that it's hard to explain. It's just like, damn, I can't believe you did that. That's awesome.
Yeah, right.
Here's a video of me acting silly. Here's a story about this song. Here's
right.
a story about this song. Here's us in the studio, all constantly. We're just constantly filming everything and putting stuff together and giving them kind of a look behind the curtain.
It's almost like a Lone Ones reality show for the Patreon fans.
Yeah, well, it's not scripted. It's not scripted. None of us drunk trying to fight each other on the camera, so that's a good thing. Maybe that's the key. Maybe our Patreon will explode if we try to beat each other up all the time.
There you go.
Do confessionals. I can't believe Jimmy said that about me. Yeah, it's like I said, it's just something to give back to the fans. They help us out. We show our appreciation and let them peek behind the curtain quite a bit.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So tour starts 2 weeks?
Sorry. I had a text message from my mother just came down. She's hilarious. The 13th is the first show. Is it 2 weeks?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
I'm running out of time. I'm in crunch time now. So the first show is the 13th. We do 2 shows, and then we get a couple days off, and then the tour starts. Like the major tour starts with Sunflower Dead and Co-op. So we got some two warm-ups. They're not warm-ups, they're festival shows, so we better have our head in the game.
Nice. Well, it sounds like it is in the game. You guys are ready to kill it. And I'll say, which I'm sure you hear every time you launch tour dates, why aren't you coming to Nashville? Or why aren't you coming here or there?
Yeah, I saw Clint Lowry from Seven Dust posted, just so you know, this is not the last tour of the band's career. We will be going through your time. Well, the other thing, too, is with this year, it's all reschedules from all these we weren't a band before COVID. So like,
Right.
I was like, how come you're not on this festival again? Because this festival was put together in 2019 and it's just a reschedule. We weren't a band yet. And how come, and it is like a traffic jam out there with dudes with guitars and leather jackets trying to get in on a stage on a Thursday night in Iowa. You know what I mean? So it's proved to be a little tricky. But I mean, we're coming to every town. It's like, this is what we do for a living. This is what we love to do. We're coming.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll be patient a little longer for you down here in Nashville.
I think we got a Nashville one on the books.
Nice. Very good. Very good. Cool. Marty, dude, always a pleasure talking to you. Always fun catching up. Yeah. And have fun out there and no drinking.
No drinking. No shots. Nobody buy me any shots.
Just rock. Just rock and roll.
Just everybody. I know it was our thing I know it was our thing. But it's not our thing anymore. It's nothing against you. Just going sober on this one.
So any shots you were buying for him, I'll take them. There you go.
I mean,
there you go.
That's the way it's going to go down, sir. You better start practicing. It's a lot.
Oh boy. All right, man. Well, thanks again for everything, and everybody check them out. Where should we send them? Where's the best place to find you guys? Facebook, Instagram, Patreon?
Facebook, Instagram, Patreon. Need you over there. Twitter, all that. I mean, we're social media savvy. We're on all of it.
Nice.
Type in the Lonely Ones, blue check mark. That's us. Guys with the long hair, cool jackets. You'll recognize us.
And the new single's out there, Gettin High. Check it out. Crank it up.
There's another one coming pretty soon.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, thanks for having me.
Always. Yeah, man. Take care. Have fun out there.
I will.
All right.